everybody. I'm Anita Finley, your Zoomer Times host, and I have someone that you have seen before, but we have a very interesting interview today. This, of course, is Anthony Kulp, who you have heard from before, and he is he's smart, he's attractive, he's very experienced, and he is a real estate broker. And so what does that mean? Well, there are brokers and there are brokers, and there are salespeople and there are salespeople. But Anthony is very experienced and very nice, and he will really help you. And I thought what we do today, a lot of you know Dan Verity, who is our administrator of the Zoomer Times, and he was fortunate enough that he got a hold of Anthony and said, I'm looking for a place to move to buy. So I'm going to let this go now, and I'm going to let Dan Verity talk about how it all happened, and then Anthony, you go ahead and talk about what. Dan, go ahead, you start it.
Well, we decided, I guess it was in January, that we wanted to start making some plans for our retirement years, and we figured that instead of renting, because that's what we're doing now, we needed something to own again. This way, that if our health should change, our financial situation should change in the future, at least we have real estate to fall back on, and we could explore things like reverse mortgages for financial support. So I called Anthony because I know Anthony. He's been a client of ours for quite a while, and I fully trust him, and I believe that he was the best one to help us out. And of course he did. And we are going to closing on the 22nd of April. So I'm happy to say that everything went well after looking at a lot of property. But I think as it turned out, we bought at the right time, didn't we, Anthony?
Absolutely. We missed out on some opportunities because everything was going under contract so fast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But let's go back, Anthony. So you know Dan, but you didn't know him really as a customer or even as a friend. He's been part of this business here. Tell us what you had to know, how you had to ask questions, why you decided on the place that you did take him.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were knowledgeable about purchasing a home. They weren't first-time home buyers. And, we just made it fun. It gets, when you focus in on a property, you're not ready to put an offer in yet, and the property goes under contract, there's a sense of loss there because you became emotionally, connected to that property. So, sometimes you have to sit back for a little bit, regroup, and then go back out again. And that's what we did. And over
Anthony, wait, let me stop you a minute. Let me stop you a minute. So let's say Dan found something that he wanted. Then you had him sign a contract, and how did you know it accepted? I mean, did you have any idea that?
Well, we would, some of it would be we didn't have the opportunity to get there fast enough. We were working on a pre-approval. We were doing some research on the association. So for whatever reason, sometimes a property is under contract, but it's still showing as active. And that happened to us a couple times.
Yeah.
So it was, there was multiple reasons why it happened, but we just had to, forget about it, move on. And sometimes that's very difficult because everything you look at after that, you compare it back to that other property. And you can't do that. You have to erase it from your hard drive and pay attention that the things that are available for sale and, go after them. And I always tell people, when you lose something, most of the time something better comes up.
Yeah. And
that happened. We started looking in a different area and we fell in love with the area and we found the right place. And we looked at 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And in this particular development, the 1 bedrooms were nicer than the 2 bedrooms. And that's what Dan and Bill ended up buying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but now let me ask you, Dan, though, when you found a place and you wanted it. You know, a lot of times and years ago in real estate, you never offer what they're asking. So were you told by Anthony, listen, you've got to pay the full price, or did you say, let's try $500 less or something?
Well, Anthony and Bill and I discussed it ahead of time. And we all agreed that we weren't going to offer the asking price, that we were going to go lower. So in fact, we did. We went in with a bid for 10,000 less. I think that's how it worked. And it turned out that she accepted it.
Right.
So we were quite happy. And, you know, at that point,
See,
Mhm. At that
Dan,
point, I
I'm
felt
sorry,
like,
I'm surprised that, excuse me, I'm surprised that happened, because there are now cases that I've heard about, people have to pay more than the asking price.
yes, well, that's the way it has quickly become. See, there was probably, Anthony can back me up or refute me, but there was a 2-month period in our search where it was the perfect time to buy, because inventory was good, prices were stable and reasonable. Right after we we signed the contract and got everything closed up, inventory started disappearing and the prices went through the roof. And now there's bidding wars. So if we took the same property today, she wouldn't have accepted 110. She would have asked for probably more.
Yeah.
There would have been
And
a bidding war.
the agent probably would have raised the price.
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back in 2002, I think it was, I had a condo on the market and it wasn't selling. And I went to the sellers and I said, let's raise the price. And they said, wait a minute, it hasn't sold. Why would we be raising the price? And I said, well,
Yeah.
other ones have sold for a little higher and people will see that the prices are going up. And we raised the price. Now, this was back in 2002, 2003, and it went under contract in a week.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the market we're in right now. Nobody can give a solid explanation why houses aren't coming on the market. We thought that this year, Canadians would be listing their houses, their condos and houses for sale, and that really hasn't happened. Their dollar is also struggling against the American dollar, but that really hasn't happened. Matter of fact, I sold a couple of places to Canadians. So the only thing I can think is over the last year, people were putting money into their house, and you know, we all, if we redo our living room or the bathroom or something, you fall in love with your house again.
Right.
So possibly.
Well, okay, I just want to give Anthony's phone number so that everybody, and his website, so you call, because Anthony is worth working with, I have to tell you, and
Yes.
Dan will certainly concur with that. His phone number is 954-815-9048. 954-815-9048. And his website is Anthony, no, that's his email, sorry. Let's see, what's your website?
Yeah, probably the best way to reach me is by email, and that's Anthony@realestatesofl.com.
Okay, but if you can call him, I think that's even better. It's easier for people who are, just get your pencils and make a note, 954-815-48. Not only is he a great real estate specialist, he deals in seniors. He has a senior real estate specialty. He's taken courses for that. Okay, let's go back to this now. So Anthony, how about in rentals? If people are looking to rent, is it the same problem?
Yeah, we're rental. There's not a lot of rentals out there, and the rentals that are available are priced high. I don't typically do a lot of rentals, but for some reason this year I've had a lot. And you know, in Palm Air, in Pompano, a 1-bedroom is now, you know, on the market for $1,500. You know, I have a 2-bedroom available for 1,700. Now, both of them are fresh remodels. Nobody's ever lived in them since they've been remodeled. Both have nice views, but they're getting showings.
And
And
they have to be furnished, don't they? Have to
No,
be
that's-
furnished if they're renting.
this is for year round. One of the problems that we have right now when it comes to rentals is more people are living here year round than ever before. So people who bought their properties for future primaries and had them rented out are no longer renting them out. They're moving into them full time. And that takes a lot of rentals off the market. The other thing is there's not a lot of places to build more rentals or houses for that matter. You have to go up into Palm Beach and northern Palm Beach County to look for open land where they're building new homes. But there's a premium on new homes.
Yeah.
It's raising the prices on existing homes and condominiums, but you know, you have to go north. And a lot of people in Dade County and Broward County are moving north up into Stewart and even further north than that.
That's right. Yeah.
The project across the street, is that starting again yet over there at the?
Not yet. I mean, right now they still have horse racing, so it's hard to do anything when the horses are there because you can't have construction equipment running while horses are in stables and stuff like that. A horse could get hurt or a handler could get hurt. I think that ends pretty soon. I think it ends the end of this month, and they'll probably start get some things started. But because of COVID,
Will there be housing there? Will there be apartments or housing there?
It's going to get rented. There's not going to be a lot on the market. It will, you know, things will get rented up. It'll start as close to the project as possible, and then it'll start going out and, you know, spreading out throughout the counties. So it's a wait and see.
Anthony, a few years ago, I heard where investors were coming in and buying 10 apartments, 10 homes, and they were making a lot of money. Are they still around, or what are they doing with those properties?
Well, it's very hard to do it in a community because a lot of communities have rules on how many properties in that community one person can own.
Right.
And also, a lot of communities will not allow corporations or companies to buy properties. They can only go in trust or the names of individuals. That slows that down. But sometimes if new construction, if a builder is building new construction and he can show that he pre-sold 10 properties, even if it's to the same company, that helps him get financing faster. And you know, and releasing financing. A lot of builders get financing to start the project, then they get another draw after they have the you know, the streets and roads put in, then another draw after they sell so many properties, and that helps. Excuse me, that helps a lot to have pre-sales.
And Dan, you said that you have a condominium meeting now. They still, even in, they still are doing this, right? The condominiums still want to meet everybody.
Yes. Yeah. We're being interviewed by 2 of the board members next week, I believe it is. And they just want to meet us and make sure that I guess that we understand the basic rules and regulations and things like that. Fortunately, one of the board members that's interviewing us is my new next door neighbor. And of course, we've already met. We've already met, and she's a super nice lady, and she's going to be an absolute pleasure to have as a neighbor.
And she bakes.
And she bakes.
And she bakes.
And she has
So
cats.
Anthony,
She's got 2 cats.
Anthony, so what do they ask at the condominium association meeting?
Well, what they mainly do is go down a list of rules and regulations and just, if you have any questions about the rules and regulations, I usually tell people, don't ask questions. If you ask questions, it's going to go on. The meeting could last for hours. I mean, if you have a question and really need a definition, of course, ask the question. But you know, sometimes whoever is giving the interview, they will just go on and on and on.
I'm expecting this to be a very pleasant exchange between a few people, and and a chance to meet two of my neighbors, with one of which, of course, I already met. But yeah, I'm not anticipating any issues or problems. I think this is going to be fun.
Have
I'm
you
looking
ever,
forward to it.
have you ever, so Dan, excuse me, have you ever had a meeting with a condominium association before?
No, actually, we've never owned a condo before. This will be our first.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know some instances when I was in real estate in Boca Raton, which were not pleasant,
I
but
bet.
it's very different now. That was like 20 years ago.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not happy with management companies or condominiums. I think they're very invasive. I think they ask for too much information. I think they do some of it to discriminate. And,
Yes.
I think the state needs to step in and start regulating management companies and condominiums a little bit more, because they don't know the current laws, especially when it comes to emotional support animals, and they can hold up your settlement even though they're wrong. And it's not fair to the seller, and it's not fair to the buyer. Currently, the management company or the association has 30 days to approve somebody. Well, that's a long time to wait.
Right.
And then to find out that they're not approving you for maybe something that's a mistake. And you might have already had your house for sale, you already have the moving truck booked, and it's not fair. I think they forget that moving is one of the most stressful things that you do in your life, other than having a baby and an illness.
Mhm.
And I think they forget that. And when I had a large rental company that I managed a lot of rentals, and it would only take us 3 or 4 days to do somebody's background check and credit score and make sure they never had evictions and the typical things that you look out for. And there's no reason why it should take them 3 weeks before they even contact you. If they contact, that's a quick if they get to you in 3 weeks. And then usually when you schedule the meeting, it's at their convenience when they're able to do it. And it's one of the hardest things that I go through selling a condominium.
I understand that. And I think you should become a board member in the state condominium board or whatever that would be called. You need to be on it. How do we get you to be nominated and elected?
Yeah. Well, I think the management companies have more lobbyists than the homeowners do. I
I'm
think
sure.
this is what the politicians need to represent their constituents and listen. And they have in the past, and the management companies have always prevailed and came out better.
Mhm.
So,
This is why I wanted to talk about this with Anthony Kulp, because one you want to have as a broker. He does so much more than just shows you. He doesn't just show you a home or an apartment. He's right there with you, and he knows all the rules, regulations, and he'll fight for you. I mean, he is a tiger. And hey, let me give you his phone number again. Remember, you need to write these numbers down. It's 954-815-9048. And if you want to go to his email, it's at realestate.com. He is a senior real estate specialist, and he has anything that you want. He specializes in Broward County, find you a place somewhere else. So give him a call if you want to buy something, you want to sell something. If you just want to talk to this great guy, you can do that too. He doesn't have much time, but he loves dogs.
if you have any real estate questions,
You want to just, right, exactly. Any question. Also, Palm Air is, of course, his main place. He loves Palm Air.
yeah, I live in Palm Air, and it's always easiest to sell where you live. We have 7,000 properties.
Am I right?
Ranging from efficiencies to $1 million+ homes. So, I have I'm very well known here, and I do a lot of socializing with the homeowners, and a lot of my work is, or my clients come from referrals from previous customers or people who know me from the social engagements.
Yeah. So Dan, do you know how many people live in your new community?
Gosh, no, I don't. Anthony might know that.
Ah,
In High Point,
It's a large community, and
It is.
actually, it's called South Point, and I think they have 7 different sections.
Right.
So I think if you take all 7, there's probably over 1,000 units there.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it's beautifully located off Military and Atlantic.
Yes.
You want
It's
me
right by
to Dan
AAA,
Press?
you know that?
What's
I'll
that?
give you Dan Press. You can stop over and say hello.
Come on over for coffee.
Here, let me write that down and I'll show you.
I can pixelate you very easily, Anthony.
You know, Dan, you'll be very close to your favorite place, Office Depot, AAA. There's a great Chinese restaurant in that shopping center. I know that shopping center very well.
Oh, I'm glad you told me, because Bill and I
And the
were
post
saying,
office is across the street, I think,
is.
if you're in the one I'm thinking.
yes, we're in High Point 3 and the post office is right across the street.
Right,
Yeah.
I know that. I mean,
well,
this,
I'm glad you told me about the Chinese food, because
Right.
Bill and I were so upset because we finally found Chinese food and pizza that we really like nearby here. And now we got to give it up. So now we got to find a new Chinese food and new.
oh, this is a very good one. I'm surprised that you found a great one in Boynton Beach, because
Yeah.
the one there,
The great
Well,
thing about
it
that
is.
area, the roads are
Yeah.
set up very well. There's
Yeah.
not as many traffic lights. And if you do have to go somewhere that may be a few miles away, it's very easy to get there. And there's a lot of shopping centers, that are right on the main roads.
Right.
So there's parks. It's not congested because it's a newer area than, say, Fort Lauderdale or even Pompano. As you go north, things seem to spread out a little bit more. But Military Trail and the road that I forget the road that runs east and west, are all 6-lane roads.
Yeah.
So and very few traffic lights on newer roads. They don't allow as many entrances onto the road. So large shopping center may only have one entrance and exit. So the next driveway could be pretty far down the road. That's why you don't have as many traffic lights. So a lot of the infrastructure is newer.
Yeah. Yeah. And the neighborhood itself, the streets are beautiful. It's a great place to walk, great place to ride a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Very safe. And just everything is spread out. There's a lot of greenery and old growth trees, and it looks like a real true residential neighborhood. Very pleasant.
So
Not to
Dan,
give Dan's age
you're
away,
gonna
but-
have to go.
What's that, Anthony?
Not to give Dan's age away, but it's also a 55 plus community.
It is. And I'm 60.
Okay, but Dan, you could now, if you're there, because it's all one level, you can grow some tomato plants.
I know, I can't wait. I actually,
Right. Yeah,
I
it's
was,
unusual.
yeah. Well, I was looking yesterday on how to grow artichokes, because I was looking at your article on artichokes
Right.
in our April issue.
Right.
They're really difficult to grow. I don't think I'm going to bother, because it's just too much work. I'll just buy them at the store.
Well, do tomato plants.
Oh, definitely.
You can go over to the Woolbright place and buy the tomato plants. Mine are
Yeah.
growing inside in my condo, right at the window. I keep them watered, and I already saw I have 4 coming on now. Yep.
That's great.
About an ornamental pepper plant. And the peppers were small, and they were purple and yellow and red, and it grows like a bush, and it's very pretty.
They
The
are
peppers are
pretty.
very, very hot
Do you-
too.
Do you grow them in your apartment,
No.
Anthony?
I have them in a pot right outside the door, and it was very ornamental because it was so colorful, and it's very hardy too. So
Right
if the
outside.
snow dries out a little bit, that they're okay.
Right.
But it's very pretty.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's right, because that's right.
Well, we're just about running out of time.
Mhm.
So, and Anita seems to be having a
Well,
video trouble. So
it is,
Anita's back. Okay. Anita, you're breaking up a little bit. So,
Okay.
so I just
I
wanted
always
to
break up.
I wanted to thank Anthony for joining us today. Again, you can reach Anthony. The best way to reach Anthony is calling 954-815-9048. That is his cell phone, so you can text him also. And the second best way is by email, which is anthony@realestatesofl.com. And of course, that information will be on the bottom of the screen here. So, Anthony, I'm looking forward to seeing you at closing. Yay, the day's here.
It's fun. And we'll get you your contractor. I don't know if I sent you his information yet.
No, not yet, but yeah, we'll be needing that. So
Mhm.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
So
Thank you for your
Anthony, do you
time.
go to the closings?
Well, right now they want as few people at the closing as possible.
Uh-huh.
So there's not really much for me to do at the closing anyway. So and the company that Dan is using is a company that I use all the time. You know, if there's a problem, they'll call me on the cell phone. But the company that I use all the time is very, very good. They know about problems before the settlement and everything is taken care of. So.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
process has been running
Okay.
very smoothly. It's been running great. So we're happy.
And so, yeah, Dan's, he is very happy and he's gonna move in over a period of time. He doesn't have to rush to move everything.
Right.
But I wanted to go back to the rentals, because sometimes homes are rental. What if it's unfurnished? Do people just rent furniture to put in, or what do they do?
Typically, if a place is being rented unfurnished, people have their own furniture.
Mhm.
But I have a guy. I have lots of guys. Things, but this guy has a warehouse full of furniture that myself and other realtors call him, that he takes out of places that we've sold and the people don't want the furniture. So he takes it, and then we end up sending him customers where they buy the furniture and then he's, sells it to the other people. And he really, he'll have an $1,100 sofa that he sells for $300. So, and I have a rental property and I needed a mattress. He had a brand new mattress and box spring that he charged me $300 for. And it was very high quality mattress and box spring.
I want his number.
Yeah, no problem. I sold a bedroom, one bath to a woman from Israel. She had no furniture. He furnished her whole place for $1,100, including the box spring and mattress.
Wow.
So that's what a box spring and mattress would cost, just a box spring and mattress.
Huh.
And that was land.
So should we have people call you for this information, or what do you want to do about that?
Call me and I'll pass his information on. He's in Pompano, so if you're seeing this in North Dade or Southern Dade or Northern Palm, just be aware that he's located in Pompano Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Maybe he would like to advertise all this in Boomer Times. I don't know. Is this a real big business of his?
No, it's something he actually started on the side, but it took off.
Right.
And he has this warehouse, and then he rents a couple of spaces in storage facilities. So it's really taken off for him.
Great idea. Great idea. Well, we've run out of time, and we thank Anthony very much. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you for having me. Stay safe.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you for being with us, Anthony.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.